Good morning, everybody. Crafting Journey here. Welcome to another episode, the Friday episode of Crafting and Crime Daily. You know where we do the Friday dance? Yeah. Woo-hoo. Yeah. Okay. So we're here for the sentencing of Alec Murdaugh. Last night, I guess it was around 6 p.m., 7 p.m. Eastern time. The jury had deliberated 2 hours and 10 minutes and came back with a verdict, guilty on all counts. Now, I've got all of that in live, just look on the channel and you'll see all of that. I covered the verdict live last night. Little reaction from Alex Murdaugh, but I understand from a reporter that it wasn't caught on camera, but he turned around, he looked Buster in the eye, and he said, "I love you," or something like that. "Don't worry, I love you," or "It's okay, I love you." And then he started crying. So I'm curious to see. Here's what's going to happen this morning. Good morning, Amanda. Hey, Beth Ann and Lisa. So here's what's going to happen this morning. And I am watching the feed when they go live at 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central. I will put the feed up. But this morning, we're going to hear victim impact statements. Now, I don't know who that's going to be. Maybe Maggie's sister. I'm not sure who's going to speak this morning. Each side will have opportunities to talk about. The attorneys get to give a little speech, and they can talk about aggravating factors, which would be the prosecution, and they can talk about mitigating factors, which would be the defense. Because the range of sentences here, there's two different sentences. He could get a minimum of 30 years, or he could get life in prison without the possibility of parole, ×2 for both murders, plus 5 years for each charge that he was found guilty on of carrying a weapon. Weapons always aggravate things, but that would run concurrent with the life sentence. So, life is life. So I'm just waiting for them. I'm going to show you while we're waiting for the feed to come up. Here's what I'm working on today, guys. A puzzle. All right, I got my marble puzzle out. There's the puzzle right there. So I'm working on that today. Probably later on this afternoon and this weekend, I'm going to get out my cross stitch, the white Santa. I'm going to work on that this weekend. I'm diamond painted out. I've done enough diamond painting for a week. Let's see. I won't have this feed up during the testimony today because it tends to slow things down. But I am watching to see when they go live. How's everybody today? Amanda, are you working and lurking? Amanda works from home. I love her. So, my goodness, last night was just crazy that they deliberated so quickly. Apparently, one of the jurors did speak to the media and has said that the thing that really pushed this thing over the edge was the kennel video and the fact that he lied about that. So, and that's what did it for me. As soon as I heard, "Oh, Lisa, I'm so sorry, honey." Yeah, that's not good. As soon as I learned that he lied about being down there, plus I could, you had 12 people identify that he was at the kennels at 8:44. That did it for me. I was guilty from then on. Because at that point, you got to believe that he couldn't tell the truth about the weather if that was the thing. So I am waiting for the feed to go live. Poor Lisa, man. You were just going through crap, and I feel bad for you. Just, oh God, I wish I was there. I'd make you some chicken soup or something. So what I'm doing with this is right now, these are the edge pieces. I like to turn over all of the pieces of the puzzle. So this is from a different puzzle, this box top. So that's what I'm using to, basically I'm sorting, because this is a gradient puzzle. Oh, I just found an edge piece in here. Oh. So I kind of like sort them by colors. It's It's only 500 pieces, so it'll probably go pretty quickly. Maybe depending on how long this goes today, you know, I might be done with it by the time it's over. Who knows? But anyway, that's what I'll be doing. I'll have the mic muted. Please make sure you tell me to unmute the mic when it's over. I always forget, and that sucks. So I'm going to hang out with my cross stitch girls this weekend. It's a crafting weekend with the girls, so that's where I'll be. And it'll be so nice. No Murdaugh this weekend. None. Yeah. So, with oh, we got 15 people in here. Hey, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Do it now while you're thinking about it if you're enjoying the content. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. And if you're a subscriber, please consider becoming a member. Lisa is one of my oldest members, not by age, just by length of time she's been here. Joanna's here. Good morning, honey. Are you as freaked out as I am? Wow, 2 hours and 50 minutes of deliberation. Yep. Good morning, Sherry. Yeah, Lisa's up early, but she's not feeling well, so I'm not surprised she's up. Good morning, Jen. And Marty's here. Hey. Yeah, I'm just really curious about what we're going to see today. Lisa said, I know since chemo day before yesterday, I've been super pukey and hurting, hard to sleep. Oh, God. You're going to get through this, and you're going to look back and say, you know, man, we're all going to be there for you. We're all there. We're all hugging you. Yes. Joanna's giving you a hug too. So what else was I talking about? Yeah. So one of the jurors was interviewed or made a statement to the effect that what did it for the jury was the kennel video and the lie that he told about the kennel video, which is what did it for me as well. Maybe they will renew hangings. It's the South. Oh my gosh. I used to, when I practiced law at the courthouse in Florida, I forget what this was in, but the hanging tree, there was a tree that they used to hang people. They would come out of the courthouse and they would hang people outside of the courthouse. And that tree was still there. It was so creepy, really creepy. Don't want to bring everyone down. It's been a rough couple of days. Lisa, we know we're trying to lift you up. Melody here. Good morning. Sue's here. No sound. You guys can't hear me? Let me know if you can't hear me. Sue says no sound. Sherry says, Lisa, no worries. Told you the dogs know everything. Yes. And the dogs didn't bark. Okay. We're going to go to the courtroom now. Oh, no. Are they in the courtroom or they're not in the courtroom? Wait a minute. Nope, they're not in the courtroom. I thought they were, but they're not. Okay. Okay, you guys can hear me. Good. If you can't hear me, then go out and come back in again. But I am lagging. Yeah, I'm going to take that second camera out. It always, it lags. So there we go. That usually cures the lagging. Sorry about that. If it doesn't cure the lagging, let me know. It's weird that that second camera causes lagging. But anyway, it's just a puzzle I'm working on. You don't need to watch that. All better. See? I do. I have technical difficulties sometimes, but I know how to fix them. Yep. So I was just thinking that I woke up this morning at 4:00 in the morning. And I was thinking it was time to get up. I didn't even look at the clock. So I'm petting the animals. This is what I do every morning. Stitch climbs up on top of me and I pet him. And, you know, we all snuggle in the bed, Stitch, Pearl, and Tootsie. And then at some point I looked at the clock and I went, it's 4:15. What? So I did go back to sleep. Your computer needs more memory. That's what causes that. Oh, you know, that's good to know, Sherry, because I can get rid of some stuff because all I do on this computer is YouTube. I don't do anything else on this computer. Well, World of Warcraft. I do World of Warcraft, but there's other stuff I can get rid of. This is an older computer too. Good morning, Annette. Will we get to hear the sentencing within 30 minutes? Do you mean is it gonna last 30 minutes? It'll probably last longer than 30 minutes because this is the chance, under Marcy's law now, the victims in a crime get to give impact statements. And, so that's, what I expect to hear this morning. I'm thinking it might be Maggie's sister. I don't know who else it would be, but, we'll see. Diamond Queen went to IHOP at 2 a.m. and been up since. Oh my god, I love IHOP. I love pancakes. Now you're making me hungry. They're a little bit late getting started this morning. That's not unusual. There will be no jury today, but he did say that the jurors could sit in the audience if they wanted. Danielle, good morning. Good morning. We're waiting to go live here for the sentencing of Alec Murdoch. You went to IHOP and ate French toast. See, girl, it's a pancake place. Oh, no. Yeah, it is a pancake place. You're supposed to have pancakes. That's okay. I love French toast, too. Oh, boy. Let's go. Let's go. Why are they always late? Miranda's here. Good morning. Good morning. I'm glad you all could make it. I'm glad you all are up early. I got my coffee. Hold on. Where is it? Coffee. Got my coffee. Ready to go. Lisa had saltines. Now there's the breakfast of champions. Oh, God, sweetheart. Saltines and Zofran. There you go. Zofran makes me sleepy. I don't know about you, but it works. If that's the under the tongue Zofran, oh man, it works good, but it does make you sleepy. Nope, not the courtroom yet. Sue says a juror was on Good Morning America this morning. They had it done in 45 minutes. They had it done in Oh, yes, they come to their conclusion very quickly. I think they probably just took a vote. Everybody said guilty, and then they sat in there for a little while. Melody says, Rebecca, thank you for following the case till the very end. Oh, gosh, guys, you are so welcome. Hi, Lois. Hi, Lois. Lisa said, yes, it's so bitter. Oh, it is bitter. Zofran is definitely bitter. Yeah, you got to drink something afterwards, but it works. When was I taking Zofran? I don't remember. I don't remember when I was taking it, but I know it worked. So how many were guilty after the kennel videos? That's what did it for the jury. That's what did it for me. Lisa loves homemade chicken soup. You know what? My sister says that Chick-fil-A makes the best chicken soup, that it'll cure anything. The Chick-fil-A chicken soup. I don't know, Lisa, if you have a Chick-fil-A nearby. Annette said the kennel videos did it for her. Yeah, definitely. Cinnamon toast. Wait, whoa. Who had cinnamon toast? Miranda says, I need to make coffee. I'm sure I will just make tea. I need to go make me some cinnamon. Oh, Miranda's doing the cinnamon toast. Yay. Diamond Queen said, I would worry about being harassed if being a jury. Yeah, but now this is their 5 minutes of fame, so to speak. Oh, they're not there yet. Hold on. Oh, you don't have Chick-fil-A in Alaska. That's too bad. Oh my God, they're so good. Chick-fil-A is yummy chicken sandwiches. Although McDonald's has copied their chicken sandwich almost to a T. You can get the same thing at McDonald's now. Will he get 30 years? I think he's going to get life. This judge, I was surprised the judge told the jurors that he agreed with them and that they made the right decision and that he was guilty overwhelmingly. Carl says 2 CBD gummies and a slice of toast. Oh, that's your breakfast, Carl? Okay. Aren't you at work? Wait a minute. You should be at work at this time of day, buddy. But I'm glad you're here with me. Thanks. I'm monitoring the feed. They are not live yet. They're running late. We're about 10 minutes late this morning. They make us all get up early and then wait. Yeah. And we're not waiting for jury, so I don't know what we're waiting for. Nerve pain really bad today. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's not good. Can he appeal? Oh, sure, he's going to appeal. I mean, yeah, they always appeal, but it doesn't matter. Now we go. It's not over for Alex Murdaugh. He still has 90-something other charges pending in state court. So here, I'm going to add the stream now.
Good morning. Parties ready to proceed?
State's ready, Your Honor.
Bench is ready, Your Honor.
All right, from the state, Mr. Waters.
Thank you, Your Honor. We're obviously here in the sentencing for the state versus Richard Alexander Murdaugh. Your Honor, I have prepared the sentencing sheets signed up. If I can hand those up to the clerk. Your Honor, very quickly, the defendant has no prior record, and the state has no victim impact people who want to speak at this time.
Wow.
But I will address the court briefly. And I don't need, Your Honor, to repeat the evidence that Your Honor just heard for the past 6 weeks, but it is overwhelming. And it shows this man to be a cunning manipulator, a man who placed himself above all others, including his family. A man who violated the trust of so many, including his friends, his family, his partners, his profession, but most of all, Maggie and Paul. This is a very complicated situation, and I want to offer my condolences to the family that has suffered here. We have tried very hard to be respectful and sensitive regardless of what position any person took, because this family has suffered and they've had to suffer in the public eye. And I want to offer my condolences to this family. I want to offer it for Maggie and Paul and Mr. Randolph too, who I had the pleasure of working with on one occasion. But the reality remains is that despite all this attention, this case is about Maggie Murdaugh and Paul Murdaugh, and I'm so thankful that the jurors gave them a voice. You heard about Paul. Obviously, there was the boat case, but you also heard him described as a fun-loving young man, a person who loved life, a person who would do anything for his friends, for anyone. And he's cut down as he was just starting to live his life. You heard about him. How sweet she was. You heard that she was a girl's girl who adapted to the outdoorsman life of her sons, how much she loved her sister and her brother-in-law and their children, and she was cut down in the prime of her life. Both of them, like everyone else, was unaware of who he really was. No one who thought they knew this man, no one who thought they were close to this man knew who he really was. And Your Honor, that's chilling. And I've looked at his eyes, and he liked to stare me down as he would walk by me during this trial. And I could see the real Alex Murdaugh looked at me. The depravity, the callousness, the selfishness of these crimes are stunning. The lack of remorse and the effortless way in which he lies, including here sitting right over there in this witness stand. Your Honor, a man like that, a man like this man, should never be allowed to be among free, law-abiding citizens again. And I would submit to you that the only just sentence here to give justice for Maggie and Paul is the maximum, and that would be 2 consecutive life sentences. Thank you, Your Honor.
You indicate that no one no victim would like to speak at this time. Would any victim like to speak at any time during these proceedings?
Your Honor, one of the things we did early on, obviously, as I just said, it's a very complicated situation, but we made the decision early on. We've had our victim advocate here who's been doing a wonderful job, regardless of the viewpoints of any individual family member, to provide aid and service to them. And we made that decision. I'm informed by our victim advocate that none of them wish to speak. The defense can certainly address that, but that's what I'm informed. But they certainly were offered the opportunity as is required. And I want to commend our victim advocate on the excellent job she did in handling this complex situation that we wanted to be sensitive to, because again, none of us are not mindful of the fact of the suffering of this family.
I know Sled Chief Mark Keel is here. Would you like to address the court on any matters, Chief?
No, sir. Just to say, again, very proud of our agents, the work they've done. I'm proud of the partnership that we've had with the Attorney General's office, as we've had for many years. And again, we're here to see the justice is served, and we believe that.
Thank you. For the defense.
Your Honor, Mr. Griffin and I would have no comment. The defendant would like to address the court, though.
Mr. Murdoch.
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm innocent. I would never hurt my wife, Maggie, and I would never hurt my son, Paw.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Anything further?
I don't think further comment is necessary, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Murdoch, you'll come before the court for sentencing. This has been perhaps one of the most troubling cases, not just for me as a judge, for the state, for the defense team, but for all of the citizens in this community, all the citizens in this state, and as we've seen based on the media coverage throughout the nation. You have a wife who's been killed, murdered, a son savagely murdered, a lawyer, a person from a respected family who has controlled justice in this community for over a century, a person whose grandfather's portrait hang at the back of the courthouse that I had to have ordered removed in order to ensure that a fair trial was had by both the state and the defense. And I've sat through the trial. Not only have I sat through the trial, but also as the presiding judge of the state grand jury, sat through and participated in the issuance of search warrants of various sorts, bond hearings, and have had to consider many things. And we have this case, and I'm also assigned to preside over 99 others, at least 99 other cases. Though testimony has come up regarding many of those other cases, I will not make any comment with regard to any other pending matter, as I have been assigned those cases as well. It's also particularly troubling, Mr. Murdoch, because as a member of the legal community and a well-known member of the legal community, you've practiced law before me, and we've seen each other at various occasions throughout the years. And it was especially heartbreaking for me to see you go in the media from being a grieving father who lost a wife and a son to being the person indicted and convicted of killing them. And you've engaged in such duplicitous conduct here in the courtroom, here on the witness stand, and as established by the testimony throughout the time leading from the time of the indictment and prior to the indictment throughout the trial to this moment in time. Certainly, you have no obligation to say anything and say not guilty. And obviously, as appeals are probably expected or absolutely expected, I would not expect a confession of any kind. In fact, as I've presided over murder cases over the past 22 years, I have yet to find a defendant who could go there, who could go back to that moment in time when they decided to pull the trigger or to otherwise murder someone. I have not been able to get anyone, any defendant, even those who have confessed to being guilty, to go back and explain to me what happened at that moment in time when they opted to pull the trigger, when they opted to commit the most heinous crimes known to man. In this case, qualifies under our death penalty statute based on the statutory aggravating circumstances of 2 or more people being murdered by the defendant by one act or pursuant to one scheme or course of conduct. I don't question at all the decision of the state not to pursue the death penalty. But as I sit here in this courtroom and look around the many portraits of judges and other court officials and reflect on the fact that over the past century, your family, including you, have been prosecuting people here in this courtroom, and many have received the death penalty, probably for lesser conduct. Remind me of the expression you gave on the witness stand. Was it tangled?
Tangled web, we weave.
Oh, what tangled web we weave. What did you mean by that?
Meant when I lied, I continue to lie.
And the question is, when will it end? When will it end? And it's ended already for the jury because they've let you continue to lie and lie throughout your testimony. And perhaps with all the throng of people here, they, for the most part, all believe, or 80, 90%, 99% believe that you continue to lie now when your statement of denial to the court. Perhaps you believe that it does not matter, that there's nothing that can mitigate a sentence given the crimes that were committed. A notice of alibi was filed in this case by counsel in November, and we conducted a hearing, pretrial hearing, in which you claimed to have been someplace else at the time the crime was committed. Then, after all of the witnesses placed you at the scene of the crime, at the last minute, or last minutes or days, you switch courses and admitted to being there. And then that necessitated more lies and continued to lie. And I said, where will it end? It's already ended for many who have heard you and concluded that it'll never end. But within your own soul, you have to deal with that. And I know you have to see Paul and Maggie during the night times when you're attempting to go to sleep. I'm sure they come and visit you. I'm sure.
All day and every night.
Yeah, I'm sure. And they will continue to do so. And reflect on the last time they looked you in the eyes, as you looked the jury in the eyes. I don't know person who's always been such a gregarious, friendly person and cause their life to be tangled in such a web, such a situation that yours have spun into, and it's so unfortunate because you had such a lovely family of such friendly people, including you, and to go from that to this. Your license to practice law has been stripped away from you. You turned from lawyer to witness, and now have an opportunity to make your final appeal as an ex-lawyer. And it's really surprising that you're waiving this right at this time. And if you opt to do so, it's on you. You're not compelled to say anything, but you have the opportunity to do so.
Judge, I tell you again, I respect this court, but I'm innocent. I would never, under any circumstances, hurt my wife, Maggie, and I would never, under any circumstances, hurt my son, Paw.
Well, and it might not have been you. It might have been the monster you become when you take 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 opioid pills. Maybe you become another person. I've seen that before. The person standing before me was not the person who committed the crime, though it's the same individual. We'll leave that at that. Before announcing sentence on these cases, with regard to all of the other pending cases, Are any of them here in Colleton, or I'm sure some of them are?
Yes, sir.
Half of them, or?
I don't have that in front of me, but there are a substantial number of charges here. There's some in Hampton, Orangeburg, Beaufort, Allendale. There may be others I'm not thinking of right now.
We might have worn out our welcome here in Colleton. They have been, and I'll take this opportunity to thank Sheriff Hill and all of the court officials and really everyone I've met and dealt with while here in Colleton County. Just been great. But without any delay, we're going to schedule some of the other matters. I know Mr. Harpootlian's scheduling is complicated, and you've sacrificed quite a bit to be able to be here defending Mr. Murdaugh, as well as the Attorney General's office, with all the other many things and obligations you have. And to be able to have the Attorney General here, Alan Wilson, for the period of time that he's devoted to being here, along with everyone else, it's been quite a sacrifice. But there are other victims whose cases deserve to be heard. And this case has jumped some of those other cases. Perhaps jumped it because of this case resulting in an assault on the integrity of the judicial system in our state, law enforcement in our state. Even during this trial, the law enforcement have been maligned for the past 5 or 6 weeks by one who had access to the wheels of justice, to be able to deflect the investigation. And as the evidence is pointed out in this case, the looming storm that Mr. Waters talked about, I can just imagine on that day, June 7th, when a lawyer is confronted and confesses to having stolen over $500,000 from a client, and he has a tiger like Mark Tinsley on his tail pursuing discovery in the case involving the death of Mallory Beach, and having a father, for the most part, on his deathbed. I could imagine, I really can't imagine, but I know it had to have been quite a bit going through your mind on that day. But amazingly, to have you come and testify that it was just another ordinary day, that my wife and son and I were out just enjoying life. Not credible, not believable. You can convince yourself about it, but obviously you have the inability to convince anyone else about that. So if you made any such arguments as a lawyer, you would lose every case like that. Cases you will never have an opportunity to argue anymore, except perhaps your own as you sit in the Department of Corrections. Anything further?
No, sir.
All right, Mr. Murdaugh, I sentence you to the State Department of Corrections on each of the murder indictments in the murder of your wife, Maggie Murdaugh. I sentence you for the term of the rest of your natural life for the murder of Paul Murdaugh, whom you probably love so much. I sentence you to prison for murdering him for the rest of your natural life. Those sentences will run consecutive. Under the statute involving possession of a weapon during a violent crime, there is no sentence where a life sentence is imposed on other indictments. That is the sentence of the court, and you are remanded to the State Department of Corrections. And officers may carry forth on the imposition. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Before we adjourn, an order was issued concerning maintaining the juror's identity being anonymous. That order was issued, and for the most part, it's been complied with, except for the jury leaving the courtroom yesterday, or not the jury, but the defendant leaving the courtroom while the jury is still seated. Protecting the identity of the jurors is certainly extremely important during the course of a trial to ensure that no one makes contact with the jury or attempts to influence the jury. Jurors have a right to continue that privacy beyond their jury service, but they're not obligated to do so. And it would not surprise me if jurors choose to come forward and to speak, and they're encouraged to do so if that is their desire. I have no problem whatsoever with the jurors unmasking themselves and speaking freely with the media, because they have undergone a life-changing experience as it relates to many of them. And some of them are here now, and I want them to know that should anyone attempt to harass them or annoy them, please let me know and I will address the issue. Secondly, there's a complaint now regarding the posting of autopsy photographs or photos that came from within the courtroom. It's based on the direction of the photographs. It did not come from the audience, came somehow from within the well of the court. The parties have requested an investigation of that. I have my hands full doing my job, and I don't attempt to conduct any investigations beyond the conducting of a trial. But to the extent that law enforcement decides to review that, will be the responsibility of law enforcement.
Well, Your Honor.
Yes. And of course, one of the reasons we've sought to seal graphic photos is because the parties have a right to privacy and a right to those matters not being publicly disclosed. If anyone has heard about the recent settlement that Kobe Bryant's, another sports analogy, Kobe Bryant's wife just made with Los Angeles County and others out there over certain disclosures of information involving the death of Kobe Bryant, liability can be substantial, and it's a risk for the most part that's not worth taking. So we'll let everyone judge themselves accordingly with that regard. Aside from all that, our business is done here in Colleton County, and I get to use my gavel one or few times during this trial and order that court be adjourned. Sine die.
All rise.
I remembered to turn the mic on. Wow. So nobody wanted to speak. So it was interesting in there when the prosecution said that his victim advocate had done a good job despite what the family thinks. So it leads me to believe there's some sort of discourse between the family and the prosecution. Of course, much of the family thinks he is innocent, but I really thought the sister would at least want to make a statement. I can't believe that the sister thinks he's innocent, but whatever. So, I like this judge. I didn't realize he was going to be presiding over all of the other trials. I, Alex Murdaugh was offered a plea deal months ago, 30 years for everything, all of the financial stuff, the murders, everything. He turned it down. Nope, I'm innocent. I want my day in court. That's just how arrogant this guy is. Wow. So now it's over. I can go make pancakes. Yep. That's guys. Monday, I'm going to do kind of a little wrap up show, but I want to bring you guys up to speed on the Lori and Chad Daybell case. There's some movement in that case and the Idaho student murders case as well. Sherry says he was dumb to turn that down. Oh, yeah. Pancakes. Yes. It's Friday. So I got all the edge pieces out. I've got everything sorted on the puzzle, and I'll probably work on that during breakfast, but I'm going to get the cross stitch out. Definitely get the cross stitch out. So guys, any other comments? Yeah, if you're all caught up on the videos, great. I will have new content for you Monday. So I'll be live Sunday at 11 a.m., my usual time. You can tune in to that. Friday dance. Yes, come on. Friday dance. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Come on, everybody up. I know Lisa's not up, but she wants to see me. I'm dancing for Lisa. Oh, look, I got my butterfly. Butterfly. Okay. Michael Creelan, if you say guilty, you're a clown. Well, that's your opinion, Michael. I don't agree. So, You are welcome, everybody. I'm glad that you came. I'm glad you guys joined me for this. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up button on your way out. And I will see you guys either tomorrow in the live or Monday morning in Crafting and Crime Daily. You'll catch me after church. Yay, Miranda. Bye, everybody. See you later.